Good morning and welcome to the first session in English of webinars dedicated to Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. We have organized this meeting to guide you in the practical use of Microsoft Generative AI, providing a few but fundamental practical instructions to get the most value from Copilot, a solution that puts companies' data security first compared to other offerings on the market. The purpose of this session is to provide a practical instruction on Copilot Chat, understand why it is a secure tool, and how it can help us in our daily work. But before we get started, allow us to introduce ourselves. We are Francesca D'Ambrosio and Alessandro Alla, Cloud Solution Architect at Microsoft, and our goal is to facilitate and be a point of reference for effective and secure adoption of Copilot. Remember, if you have any questions during the meeting, you can write them in the Q&A section, and we will answer them during the session. Let's start now with a brief introduction to what Copilot Chat is. Copilot, in the next slide, we can see that Copilot Chat is essentially the user interface to set of artificial intelligence features that assist users in their daily activities. It acts as a copilot, helping but never replacing the user. The user is always in control. Copilot Chat answers our questions by searching from answers from the web or from company content we have shared. During this webinar, we will show you how it works and how it can best support you in your daily activities. In the next slide, we will see that there are different versions of Copilot. For a personal use, which you see in the image on the right, in fact, when you log in Copilot with a personal account such as Hotmail or Outlook.com, you have access to features designed for private use. But there is also a business use, and in this case, you have two possibilities. In the center image, we see Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, the focus of this webinar, available to all users with a Microsoft 365 account without paying for a Copilot license. It allows us to interact with an artificial intelligence, but respond with the information found on the web or company data shared in the chat. It is important to log in with a business account to use its features in compliance with company data protection rules. On the left side, we will see Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is the experience of a user with an additional license that allows us to leverage work skill and AI features integrated in all productivity apps of Microsoft, such as Teams, Outlook, Word, Excel, and so on. In the next slide, you can see how you can access to Copilot Chat. You can do this from several places. For example, from the website m365.cloud.microsoft, or from the Microsoft 365 Copilot app available in the Microsoft Store. From there, you can install it and add it at the taskbar if it is allowed by your company, and we will see later how we can install it. From the Edge browser sidebar, also from the Teams app in the left menu. And if you don't see the Copilot app, you can find it in the App Store. Also, in this case, we have a focus later. And also from the Outlook app. But it's possible also to use Microsoft 365 app from the device. It's important to make sure you are connected with your business account to ensure compliance with company data protection rules. Now, let's see how to pin Copilot Chat within Teams. So the scenario when we want to use Copilot inside Teams app. If your organization allows a user to customize the left-hand menu in Teams, you can make the app more visible while working in Teams. To do this, simply access to the Teams app, clicking on the three dots at the bottom of the left sidebar, and search for Copilot app, and the Copilot Chat will open directly. You can pin it, making this app always visible in Teams sidebar by right-clicking on the Copilot app and selecting Pin. You can then position it at the top or elsewhere simply by dragging the app with your mouse wherever you prefer. In this way, every time you open Teams and the Copilot Chat app is always available in the sidebar. In the following slide, you can see how to pin Copilot app in the Windows taskbar, so in the bar that you have below on your screen. In this case, you need to follow a few single steps if it allowed by your organization. In particular, open the App Store, search for the Microsoft 365 Copilot app, and download it. Once available, you can open the app, and the icon will appear on the Windows taskbar. To keep the icon always visible, even when the app is closed, just right-click on the Copilot icon and select Add to Taskbar. Okay. Now you can see that a few months ago, the Copilot chat interface was updated to be more user-friendly. In the next slide, we will see the new interface in details, but as you can see here from a first comparison, the current user interface, the image on the right, is much simpler and easier to use compared to the previous one. In particular, the prompt box has been moved to the center and made more visible. But let's take a closer look at the new interface. So in the following slide, as we mentioned before, the prompt box has been moved to the center and made more visible, where you can start the conversation by entering your request to Copilot Chat. In the prompt box at the bottom right, you will notice a microphone because now you can also dictate your prompt to Copilot, avoiding typing. Also in the prompt box at the bottom left, you will see the plus button, which is used to add attachment or work documents needed for the request entered in the prompt box. This way, Copilot Chat doesn't just search for the answer from the web, but also from company documents you have chosen to share, always in compliance with the Microsoft Data Protection Principle. Remember that documents must be saved in the cloud, for example, SharePoint and OneDrive, to be used by Copilot Chat. Below the prompt box, you will see a series of rectangles. There are suggested prompts, for example, writing a text on email. And just below, you will see the tab See More, which takes you to the prompt gallery, a series of ready-to-use prompts available to everybody. Very useful, especially when interacting with AI tools for the first time, as they help you to write a good request and understand how best to interact with AI. We will explore this aspect later. At the top right, you also see a blue icon indicating the possibility to start a new chat. In fact, when you change the topics, it's always better to start a new chat. If you instead you want to continue interacting with a specific topic already covered in a conversation, it's best to continue within the same chat. Finally, on the right section, you will see the history of your chat with the AI under the chat section. So you can consult and continue interacting on a topic already covered. And at the top, you see agents. If it is allowed by your company, it's the possibility to use an agent that performs a specific task among tools made available with your company. In the following slide, we can see we can have a short introduction on how to use Copilot Chat in 3 steps. The first is obviously to write your prompt in a detailed and conversational tone, not just keyword as we usually do in the search browser. Alternative, you can use one of the available prompts. Remember, you can reach the response by attaching company documents you want to be used for the answer. The second step is always to check the source. Copilot Chat is transparent about the source it used, and you can see this reference listed under each answer. Check this source and validate the answer before proceeding. And the third and final step is to continue interact with the chat after the first answer to ask more details or add new requests on the same topic, just like when conversing with someone. Remember, with Copilot Chat, access to information is limited to the web and not to data in the company tenant. Therefore, to enrich the answer, you need to enter useful information or upload file directly in the prompt if you want. At this point, I'll hand over to Alessandro to delve deeper into security and governance topic.
Thank you, Francesca. In this session, I'd like to address a topic that often comes up in conversation with our customers, compliance and data security when using generative AI services like Microsoft Copilot Chat. Many users ask, where are my data processed? Are they handled within European borders? These are important questions, especially when considering on how AI services interact with sensitive business information. Okay, so as we saw a few seconds ago, when you use Copilot Chat with your enterprise account, you'll notice a green shield icon in the top right corner of the interface. This indicates that enterprise data protection is active. If you are using a personal account, this shield won't appear. Okay, meaning your data won't protected under the same enterprise grade policies. Why is this important? Because you are authenticated with your corporate account. Your interaction, like uploading a file or writing a prompt, are protected by a set of Microsoft security and compliance regulation, and moreover, it is protected also for the configuration your admins set into your account. Okay, so it is managed by your organization. This includes encryption in transit and at rest. Your data is encrypted both while being transmitted and when stored in your services, for example, in OneDrive. So this is important for a file you have in OneDrive. We have the tenant isolation. Data cannot be shared across Microsoft tenants or accessed externally. No training on your data. This is a very important part because your prompts and files are not used to train the underlying AI foundational models. Copilot Chat runs on a dedicated instance of OpenAI models, separated from the public ChatGPT service provided by OpenAI. Okay, so this is another instance. This means that when you are using these features, the infrastructure is isolated and secured for enterprise use. Additionally, Microsoft has implemented responsible AI practices and offers copyright protection for content generated through Copilot. If you create something using Copilot, you are covered in case of copyright disputes. Okay. In this slide, we have a lot of information, but I want to summarize in that way. All data in processing occurs within European borders, ensuring compliance with European regulation like the AI Act. Microsoft has invested heavily to make sure Copilot aligns to the strictest standards for data protection and privacy. If it is GDPR compliant, European data boundary compliant, as I said before, it is AI Act compliant. So whenever you use Copilot Chat, make sure that the green shield is visible. It is your assurance that your data is being handled securely and responsibly. After this important information on how the product works, we can move to talk how to use it, starting from prompting. Let's hear from Francesca on this.
Thank you, Ale. Now, let's talk about how to write a good prompt so that the AI answer is valid. In the next slide, we will see how to write a good prompt, what is a prompting and how to write a good prompt. As you can imagine, knowing how to write a good prompt is essential for using Copilot effectively. Prompts are how you ask Copilot to do something for you. For example, summarize the attachment document or summarize the mail when it was mentioned recently. You can use predefinite prompts or create custom one based on your needs. It's important to recognize that prompting is an art of form and it requires creativity and is different from simply keyword search, as we said before. Privacy is a fundamental aspect and your prompts are not used to train a large language model, ensuring your data remain confidential. Finally, prompt engineering is a critical skill that involves refining and optimizing prompts to maximize the effectiveness of the language model in various applications, improving your overall experience with Copilot. Now we see what makes an effective prompt. Effective prompts are essential to get the desired result, and in this slide highlights the difference between less effective and more effective prompt. Vague prompts, such as asking for a summary of news about a company, often lead to unsatisfactory results because they lack context and details. On the other hand, a well-structured prompt provides clear instruction, context, and specify the desired tone and format. For example, specifying your sector when researching competitors helping personalize the answer to your need. Also remember that there are no wrong prompts. Using natural conversational language is encouraged. So let's see now how to write an effective prompt. There are 4 ingredients that help write a good prompt. The first one is define the objective, what you expect Copilot to return as an answer. For example, give me a list of 5 points. Next, you need to describe the context in which you are trying to achieve this goal. Continuing the previous example, it could be a status update meeting for specific initiatives. The expected tone is in the answer. For example, you can request a formal tone if you are writing an email to the top management, or include many details if you need to address a series of questions about a specific initiatives. And finally, the source. If you want the answer to use certain resource, such as specific website or content in a Word document, it's good to specify it. In general, remember that Copilot provides the answer in the language used when writing the prompt. If you want it to answer in a different language, just specify in the prompt or in the subsequent interaction, ask for the translation in the preferred language. At this point, Ale continues to describe to you which are the news regarding Copilot Chat.
Okay, I'm back again. Let's now take a look at some exciting updates that have recently been introduced to Copilot Chat. Okay, in the middle of August, major enhancement was rolled out. Okay, the integration of GPT-5, the latest model from OpenAI. This model brings significant improvements in how Copilot understands and responds to user prompts. Consider that an AI model is something like an engine of a car. So with a new model, we have new behaviors from Copilot Chat. What's new with this new engine? It is smarter and faster. In fact, GPT-5 can analyze complex prompts more deeply and deliver more complete responses. It also adapts to your needs. If your prompt requires a quick answer, it responds immediately. If your prompt asks something for detailed reasoning, it breaks down to problem step by step, just like a human would. You can activate GPT-5 directly from Copilot Chat interface by clicking to the Try GPT-5 button in the top right of the corner. Okay, as you can see, sorry. Okay. As you can see from the left of this image, GPT-5 implements a sort of a router to understand the user intent. It can adapt to your needs. If your prompt requires a quick answer, it responds immediately. If your prompts ask from detailed reasoning, it breaks down to step-by-step analysis. Okay, this is into the image. In this case, the answer will be slower but more rich. Okay, so how to try GPT-5? Go to Copilot Chat, for example, from m365copilot.com with your enterprise account. Click on Try GPT-5 in the top right of the corner and start prompting something like, think like a marketing and communication expert, generate a creative idea for a social media campaign on Facebook and Instagram to improve a new Japanese pancake store, outline the communication planning phases from the launch of business to ongoing customer enhancement. With this prompt, we have the speediest answer, because in the prompt there is not an intent to ask a deep analysis. Okay, so we used GPT-5 and we got a fast answer. But if you change the prompt with something like with a phrase into the prompt, something like outline a detailed focused analysis for the new communication plan. So the prompt is the same, but we have a new part asking a deep analysis. As you can see in the video, we can have from Copilot a deepest analysis. Okay, so we send the prompt. Okay, Copilot with the GPT-5 router analyze the intent of the user and start reasoning. As you can see from the user interface, we have a different layout because Copilot is reasoning. So it is a little bit longer, but as you can see after, all tasks will be analyzed by Copilot to give a better answer. Okay, and we can also go through each step of the analysis to understand what Copilot did when trying to understand our intent. Okay, so we have a different, very different answer from before. Okay, so it's very important to say into the prompt that you want a deepest analysis in order to have this kind of answer. Okay, as you can see, with this example, we have another prompt. In this case, I used the same prompt. Okay, you are a cloud consultant, a client wants to migrate a legacy application to Azure and so on. And we have the phrase, the part conduct and conduct and deep analysis. Okay, as you can see on the left, we have GPT-4 with the standard answer, but with the same prompt, GPT-5 start reasoning as in this example we have we asked to Copilot to go really deep into the analysis. As you can see, we have more or less 1 minute of reasoning. Okay, so there are a lot of things that was being analyzed by the model in that case. Okay, so This is the first update, and we have the second update because here I want to talk about another feature coming to your accounts. In these days is rolling out the availability of the Copilot Chat in Microsoft apps. Okay, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. This integration will give you the Copilot Chat side by side, okay, with your favorite productivity apps. With this enhancement, Copilot Chat is available, and you don't have to switch from application or other windows, because you will have all in the same page. So if you are working on Excel or if you are working on PowerPoint, you can leverage to the Copilot Chat to ask something that you are working on in this applications. Okay, so it is right side by side. Okay, and the Copilot Chat have the context of what you are working on. Okay, this update is rolling out. Okay, and in the next webinar we will show you how to use it. Okay, so we will have some demo or use case that we can share with you. Okay, okay, let's start to see something about Copilot Chat, about use cases. So I want to share two demos about the Copilot Chat usage with your account. Okay, in the first example, we have, let me say, a communications example, because in this example, you want to post something on LinkedIn about some information that you already have with so you have the context maybe in a file, in a Word file, so you can upload the Word file and you can start prompting something like that. Okay, extract information from this document. I need 5 key points to prepare a text for a post on LinkedIn. So after that, I can select a file from my PC, or I can choose something that I already have as OneDrive. If you upload something from your PC, the file will be uploaded to OneDrive. Okay, this is important for the security of the information of your account. Okay, after that we have the first answer, but we want to go deep on the third point. Okay, this is something about sustainability. So the third point is environment and brand benefits. So we can go deep into the document on the third point, and okay, we have a good answer, but maybe after we want to improve the answer, so enrich the answer, to ask something that we can keep from the web. So we can ask to Copilot to search on the web in this context and to enrich the first answer. Okay, so we have a more complete answer in that way, and we can see also always references of used from Copilot to have the content generated. Okay, so after that we have all the information, we have the context, and we can start to ask Copilot to integrate this information to create the post on LinkedIn. Post like a mobility manager, because maybe we are a mobility manager, and we can ask also to create the content into language, maybe in English or and Italian, and to add hashtag and some information about how when it is the best moment of the day time of the day you can post this kind of information. Okay, so in that way, Copilot give an advice about that. After that, we can modify. Let me show you how. We have the answer, and we can start to collaborate with on the answer, clicking to edit in pages. Editing pages will give you the possibility to change the answer, as you can see, and in a very fast way. And we can add the call out, and we can also add a colleague to work on the answer we Copilot provided to you. And in that way, our mate will receive a notification, and she, in that case Adele, can start working with us on the answer we have on Copilot. Okay, so this is very useful because we started to work alone with Copilot, and after we will have a colleague, and we can see always what she's doing. Okay. So this is the first use case. Let's start with the second. Okay, this is about to present a marketing campaign results. So always in that case, we have some information on our PC. We have information collected by. This is something about a product, the launch of a product. We have some information coming from the website visits, social media engagement, CRM insights. And so we want to understand what happened during this phase of the launch of this product. So what we are going to do in this demo, we are start prompting to ask to Copilot to create a checklist of things we have to manage in order to have a complete analysis. Okay, we are analyzing a product called Pet Protein, that is a new line of food for dogs, and so we need a checklist to validate all the tasks I need to do to analyze in deep a marketing campaign. So as you can see, we have a tickable answer, and we can also move to modifying pages, okay, in order to work and to check all the tasks I am going to analyze. Okay, so this is a particular kind of content. This is a checklist. Okay, starting from that, considering the checklist, I'm going to upload my document with all the results we have from the CRM and website visits and so on. So what Copilot is doing now is to keep the checklist and validate the information in the checklist with the content I provided. Okay, so as you can see, we have all the information matched with the checklist. After that, we have the possibility to see all the analysis, and also we have some graphs about the analysis. Okay, and we can also have the possibility to export the information into a Word file or a PowerPoint file. In that case, we have the export in a Word file, and as you can see, we have in our OneDrive the file. But also we want to create a presentation because we want to show these marketing results to our colleagues, and we can ask to Copilot to create the PowerPoint file. Okay, so we have the PowerPoint file. We can open the PowerPoint file, and we can start to work on the file, optimizing the theme, the graphics, and other things. Okay, so in this step, I uploaded the downloaded file to OneDrive, and now we can improve our PowerPoint presentation, adding some images and working on the themes. And you can leverage on a designer feature in PowerPoint to have a better graphics of the information reported by Copilot into the PowerPoint file. Okay, after these two demos, I want to share you 10 prompts. Okay, you can leverage on or prompts that you can use as example. So you can use Copilot to ask questions. So what are some techniques to help me avoid distraction, maybe, or ask help to Copilot to draft an email, so informing them that the project is 2 weeks later. So in that way, you can start from a draft and not for a blank page to communicate something. We can summarize the content, so we can have a big document. You can add it to the Copilot chat and ask to summarize. As you can see before, in future we will have this feature already in Word in next months. You can ask to Copilot to be more creative, asking ideas, okay, new ideas. So suggest me 10 compelling slogans, for example, based on something. You can ask like an email into a document to start with a draft and not from a blank page. You can ask to improve your writing, so you can copy and paste, or you can add a document in order to ask to Copilot to be more to be your coach. Okay, to be your coach to improve your writing. And you can ask to Copilot to improve your knowledge about topics, searching on the web, for example. You can ask to Copilot to create an image, for example, create a romantic pop art image of an office worker who is experiencing a dramatic office crisis. Okay, so this is something Copilot can provide to you, but it's also important to understand if you are talking with Copilot, maybe to create a content, and you want to add to this content an image, a related image. You can ask Copilot to use the context to create an image related image on the topic of the chat you are having with the Copilot. You can ask to translate a message. Okay, maybe you are talking with the Copilot, you are asking something about an argument, and you ask to generate a message. You can ask to generate a message in different languages in very few seconds. And you can ask to change the tone of your communication. So maybe you can ask to Copilot to add some fun on the email you are drafting, or match messages or information of maybe an agenda in a meeting. So you can ask to change the message you want to share, changing the tone. Okay, so more informal, more fun, something like that. Another advice I want to share with you is to use the Copilot library. okay, to use the Copilot library, because as you can see in the bottom of this image, this slide, we have the possibility to use the button view prompts in order to be to have some suggestion about how to use a Copilot, or how to improve our prompts, and so to have a better answer and a better experience with Copilot Chat. Okay, so after that, this is the last slide. I don't know, Francesca, if you have something in QA section you can share.
No, we have just a question. I don't know if there are some other questions that maybe we didn't receive. So please write any kind of question in the meantime. The only question that we received is about if it's possible to get a certificate of attendees by Microsoft for this webinar. And we say that in the next slide we will share the QR code or the link for to track the self-declaration of participation. So if you want, you can complete this form, and you can download your self-declaration to the participation. If you have some issue with your company about that, please let us know. But this is the way that we use typically. So. It's already done. So please, if you need, complete this form. And if we don't have other questions, I think that we can complete and close the webinar.
Okay. So thank you, and see you next month, because we have other webinar planned in next month. So in future we will give you other suggestion and other advice on using Copilot Chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.